Make love to me again, Dusty. I want to forget all my memories of Holden. Make me forget I ever knew him, please, Dusty. Please.
No sign of any intruder, but the dogs are still in a stake.
Shannon. Shannon. My God. Shannon. My God, you're all right.
Doug.
Shannon. Take it easy. Take it easy. What happened?
Oh. I don't know.
Take it easy.
I remember the dogs barking.
I should never have left you alone.
And you went to investigate. And I started thinking about Angus and your family histories. So I walked over to Margaret's portrait. And someone grabbed me from behind.
Who grabbed you? Who was it?
I don't know. He had gloves on. And I tried to turn to look at him, but by then he had me by the throat and everything went dark.
It's all right. It's all right, Lassie. I'm here.
Look, the passageway door. Duncan, no, no, Duncan, no.
And why are you so sure that I'm lying about something?
Because you're acting just the same as you did when you got back from the steward's cabin this summer.
Why don't we just forget about that?
Oh, I'm supposed to forget weeks of covering your tail? Look, I'm not as good a liar as you are. I might slip up.
Right. So stop asking me all these questions. What you don't know, you can't lie about.
So you are hiding something.
Andy, my mom is in enough trouble as it is.
Meaning what?
Meaning nothing. I don't want to talk about the same
I'd like to talk about it, Paul.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Sure, Andy. Go
Great
ahead.
idea. I'm pooped.
Actually, this will only take a minute. Now, I know the last few months have been pretty rough on you.
Yeah, they have, actually, but I'm okay now.
Well, good. Good, I'm glad to hear that. Now, I don't blame you for being confused about a lot of stuff. Maybe you think that if you keep quiet, things won't get any worse. Well, it doesn't work that way, Paul. You may think you're protecting somebody, but it's going to do them a lot more harm when the truth comes out. And believe me, it will come out.
Lee? Is she out there again?
No.
What's the matter then?
I had a dream. I had a bad dream.
Why don't you come back to bed,
At
okay?
least I think it was a dream.
What was it about?
Holden. Oh, it's so weird.
The dream was weird?
Yeah. I don't know, I get this terrible feeling that something terrible has happened to him.
Award winner, As the World Turns. This portion brought to you today by Crisco Vegetable Oil for today's healthy appetites, and by Lemon Fresh Dash. Put a dash of freshness in your wash.
I'm ready to go after him myself. He's been gone for over half an hour.
Don't. Lock the bedroom door. Bar the passageway. Don't leave that room under any circumstances until I get there with my men. You got it?
All right, but please hurry. Oh, my God. You're all right. Where have you been?
I had to check
Worried.
the passageways to make sure he wasn't hiding there. If he was, he gave me the slip. I went to check the boat down at the dock, and I got there just in time to see the boat heading upriver. I got to call the police.
Oh, they're on their way. Did you see who it was?
No, but there's only one person still alive who knows the passageways well enough to elude me, and that's Nick Costello. Or some other of Stenbeck's flunkies. My God, will I never be free of the man. It's as if he's reaching out from the other side of the grave to revenge himself on me. Or those closest to me.
Don't even say that.
wasn't really like a dream. You remember when Sierra had that dream about Craig, that something had happened to him, and then she found out that his plane went down?
Lily, are you saying that, like, ESP runs in your family or something? What?
Sierra's not really my family.
I know Sierra's not your family, Lily. I'm just trying to lighten this up a little bit.
Oh, it's okay, really. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm overreacting to this. Maybe I can't sleep because I'm thinking about seeing Rod tomorrow.
Haven't you seen him once already?
Well, yeah, I did, but he really didn't know that I was there. He was kind of like fading in and out of consciousness. I'll get to talk to him tomorrow. I guess his mom will be there. It's so weird. I grew up my whole life not having a grandmother, and now I have 2 grandmothers. I have 2 mothers. I have aunts. I have uncles.
Okay.
But I didn't even... Oh, Dusty, I was just about to get used to this idea. Really, I really was. I was even thinking about going out to the farm for Thanksgiving dinner, and then everything just changed so fast.
Did you ever cook a turkey?
No.
I never did either, so it should be interesting to see what comes out.
Very interesting.
This is, I have a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. What's the matter? Lily, what's the matter?
Oh! I hear Holden calling my name like he did the first night he was out there, but he's not there. He's just not out there. Holden! Holden, where are you?
Oh, my God, Holden! Holden! Holden, oh, my God. Holden, are you in there? Holden! Oh, Holden. Holden, don't move. Holden, wait, don't move. I'm going to call an ambulance. You stay right there.
No, I don't need an ambulance.
Oh, Holden, my...
I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be all right.
You're bleeding.
I cut my lip. Thanks. All the dumb things to do.
Oh, Holden, I told you that you shouldn't drive after everything you drank.
How did you get here?
I was worried about you. Look, I just knew you'd take this road to your mother's house, so I followed you. I knew something like this was going to happen, Holden.
You're a real guardian angel, aren't you?
You left a miles worth of skid marks out there. How am I supposed to miss the break in the guardrail?
Oh.
Holden, you could have killed yourself.
No such luck.
What did you say?
Oh.
Don't say such stupid things.
Why? I don't have anything to live for.
Oh, you don't have anything to live for. You happen to have a family who loves you, Holden, and friends who would miss you a great deal. I would miss you.
Lily wouldn't.
Well, then forget about Lily.
It's easier said than done. Ready to forget about James? I'm sorry. That was a low blow.
Well, it's true. Well, we're a fine pair, aren't we? So what do you propose we do about it?
I don't know. What do you think we should do about it?
Does your lip hurt?
Not anymore. I've been hurt a lot worse recently.
Me too.
Hello, dear. I thought I was the only one who was padding around here in the middle of the night.
I'm asleep. Is Uncle John home yet?
No. No. Oh, my, what a sad little face.
It's just the middle of the night blues, I guess. I'm okay.
Darling. I was opening my daughter's eyes to her Beau Holden's lack of truthfulness. I had no idea that the next step would be for her to move in with Dusty.
Well, life goes on. Maybe next time I won't be so dumb. But on the other hand, nothing risked, nothing gained, right?
Right. Well, that must have been some bachelor party. It's 2 a.m.
Yes, well, I gave Andrew a ride home to Kim's, and then I went out to check on Emma Snyder.
At this hour of the morning, dear?
I was out there a long time, you know. Had a nice talk with Iva all about the mess that Holden has gotten himself into with Lily. I just wish that Dustin hadn't been so quick to jump at playing errant knight.
I'm gonna go make some tea. Excuse me.
You talk about me being insensitive. Huh. Well, I'll wait it up, because we need to talk.
It's just too bad you didn't think of talking to me a few months ago when James Stenbeck died of talking to you, huh?
Oh, darling, you know perfectly well. Oh, I would have cut off my right arm if I could have been able to tell you.
You didn't trust me enough, though, eh?
I didn't trust James. He had me in a no-win situation. Sierra's happiness, Craig's life, they were just in my hand. Darling, Lily might have been killed. You don't know. You just don't know.
Oh, I think I do know.
I think you don't. I don't think you know anything about it at all. I was gambling. Filled with inertia. I was praying.
Look, how do you think I feel when I see you go into inertia and I don't know what the hell is going on?
Well, why would you want to know?
I know that little quickie out in Las Vegas didn't seem to mean much to you, but I do recall somebody, someplace, saying something about for better or for worse. Now, to me, that's all that this is about.
Oh, I was so afraid.
Oh, babe.
I was afraid.
No, you don't trust me, you know.
I do.
You have to learn to trust me.
Darling, there's a table, you know.
You know what your problem is? You don't trust anybody, do you?
Why do you think I survived so long?
If you told me about Stenbeck, back when you first started talking to him, he would have been dead long ago.
Well, he's dead now. Isn't he?
Think of all the innocent people that are going to be ruined by this investigation now.
It's about time we got some sort of a break in this case. It seems like Nick Costello is the only one who can tell us what really happened out of Ruxton Hills that night.
Except Stenbeck's murderer.
Well, Nick could have bumped off Stenbeck. It's a distinct possibility.
Yeah, well, in any case, Nick's our best bet for putting some of the missing pieces together, helping us clear Barbara.
Has Roy called in?
Not yet. Sounds to me like you don't think Barbara's guilty.
Do you?
Well, I overheard Paul talking to Andy tonight at Dad and Kim's. He was obviously hiding something, and I think it was about Barbara. But when I tried to pin him down, he clammed up.
Well, that doesn't mean that Barbara shot James.
Well, what do you think, Hal?
Well, if you want my gut instinct...
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been brought to my attention, and I think too much like a lawyer. So it'd be interesting to see how a police detective looks at this. Your gut instinct might be very helpful.
Okay. I agree that Paul's not telling the whole truth, but I don't think that he's protecting Barbara so much as he's covering for Emily.
Are you sure you're not trying to protect Barbara?
Very sure.
Okay. Well, Margot, I guess you agree with Hal?
No, not totally. I'm for playing hunches here. My money's on Tony Reyes as the killer.
Why, because he swiped Craig's business?
Oh, I'm telling you. Just because someone doesn't agree with you doesn't mean that they have personal motives here. If you want to know the truth, I know the difference between personal and professional opinion.
Well, that's not exactly what...
Oh, the hell it wasn't. You better check out your own motives before you continue to sling mud around here.
Margot, why do you suspect Reyes?
Because he's hiding a lot more than any of our other suspects put together.
No. Tonio. Tonio. Holden, you promised. Holden. No.
Forget about Tonio. He's
Probably in jail by now anyway.
You promised you wouldn't say anything.
What could I do, Maggie? The police asked me if I saw him up at Ruxton Hills. I said I wasn't gonna lie if they asked me straight out.
Why?
Because it was either him or me. And he's the guilty one.
No, that's not true.
Why do you keep trying to protect him, Maggie? Why do you keep lying for him?
I'm not.
It doesn't matter anymore, Meg.
Tonio. No, they can't do this to you. You can't do this. It's some horrible mistake.
There's no mistake, Meg. I murdered James Stenbeck, and I'm going to prison for the rest of my life. Goodbye, Meg.
No. No, you can't leave me. I love you.
You're as guilty as I am, Meg. Now everyone will know
What do you mean? What will I know?
that you slept with Stenbeck, that I had to defend my family's honor.
No, I didn't. It's not true. Tonio, you've got to believe me.
Everything I did, Meg, I did for you.
Tonio, no.
50-50. For you, Meg.
Tonio,
For you.
Tonio!
Meg, wake up. Wake up.
Tonio, don't leave me.
It's all right. It's all right. You're just having a bad dream.
Oh, it was awful. You were being arrested for murder. Oh, God. Tonio, where are you going?
I'm going to fix you some more milk.
No.
You always say that helps you sleep.
I don't want any more milk. I want you. Just hold me, please.
Meg,
Please.
Meg, listen. You've been thrashing around all night. I have a big day tomorrow. I have to get some sleep.
How can you be so calm about this?
About what? A bad dream?
Perhaps it wasn't just a bad dream. Maybe it was an omen.
Meg, you're letting your imagination run away with you.
I'm just so scared, Tonio. What if I slip up? What if I say something wrong? What if the police ask me some questions and what if they find out you were at Ruxton Hills that night?
They're not going to find out unless you tell them.
Oh, I don't know how much more of this I can take.
Well, it's your own fault, Meg. You never should have followed me that night.
I had to follow you up there. Oh, God. God, I wish I hadn't followed you up there. I wish I hadn't seen.
Seen what, Meg? Meg? What aren't you telling me? What do you wish you'd never seen? Just tell me the truth, Meg. Tell me exactly what you saw that night.
You. I saw you driving away from Ruxton Hills in the rain.
And what else?
Nothing. I've told you everything. I hid the gun because I didn't want you to get in trouble, and then when you said you had another one in the office, I just got scared, and I didn't want you to get in any trouble. I followed you. But then I got stuck at a red light at an intersection, and I lost you. You went on, and I found myself up in the hills. I just sort of sat there waiting, wondering what to do next.
And do you still swear that you never made it to the house where James was hiding?
Yes, I told you. I couldn't decide what to do. I was about to give up and go home, and then all of a sudden I saw you coming back down, so I got out of the car and I tried to get your attention. I tried to flag you down.
Well, you certainly got my attention. I almost ran you over.
I had to see if you were all right. I'll never forget how you looked. You looked wild and desperate.
Meg, I did not murder James Stenbeck. You don't believe me, do you?
There's something else.
Tell me.
Well, I got in the car and you know, we were talking, and you told me to follow you home. And as I got out of the car, I just turned around just to see if the door had shut all the way, and I saw you wiping blood off your hands with the handkerchief.
So you assumed that I had murdered James Stenbeck. Meg, that was my own blood. I cut my hand on a bush when I was in the back of the house trying to look in through a window.
A bush? What did you do with the handkerchief?
I got rid of it.
Why?
Because it was ruined, Meg. Meg, we can't start being suspicious of each other. If we do, we're going to make a mistake. Now, as of this point, the police have no reason to suspect that either one of us was anywhere near Ruxton Hills.
What about Holden? He knew you were there.
I'm not worried about Holden. Should I be worried about you?
So I guess we should report the accident, huh?
Why? Nobody was hurt. Besides, I don't think I'd pass the breath test right now. That's all Mama needs is for me to be arrested for a DWI. Listen, why don't I take your car, I'll drop you off, and then I'll drive back to the farm.
I have a better idea.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me with your car?
Yes, I trust you. If I didn't trust you, I wouldn't be here. And this would not have happened. Holden, I really needed you.
I felt the same.
I'm so glad. For the first time in a long time, I don't feel alone. I don't want this to end. Holden, can I stay with you tonight, please?
Okay, Hal. What started you suspecting Emily Stewart?
Margot and I both questioned Emily and Paul separately. We asked them both the same question. Who drove Emily's car from the house in Ruxton Hills?
Right, well, I read that report. They both said Paul drove back to Betsy's cabin.
Right, and they both also said that Emily left the house first, that she waited in the car for Paul.
So?
So, why wasn't Emily sitting in the driver's seat of her car with the motor running? According to her statement, she was in a big hurry to get out of there.
And why let a distraught 16-year-old boy drive her car? I'm all the way to Betsy's cabin.
For that matter, why go to Betsy's cabin? I mean, Betsy was supposed to be in Chicago. I mean, were they deliberately trying to hide until Betsy came back and found them? And if they were trying to hide, why were they trying to hide?
Well, it sounds like you got it all figured out.
I think you call it gut instinct, Tom. Well, my gut instinct tells me that they're telling the truth backwards.
What do you mean?
I think that Paul went outside to wait in the car while Emily stayed behind and talked to James. That would explain why Paul was in the driver's seat of the car.
But Hal, it doesn't explain why they had to switch their stories. Unless...
Yes, unless, exactly. And speaking of Emily Stewart, something else puzzles me. She said that she had a gun with her when she went into the house, a duplicate of the gun that Barbara kept in her bedroom. She borrowed it from the office at Fashions.
Well, yeah, but James took it away from her in a moment of weakness.
Yeah, so why wasn't the gun in the ashes of the house? I mean, where is the gun?
Well, so far all we got is a lot of questions and no more answers.
Well, I'll tell you who'd give us our answers. Nick Costello.
Yeah, if we ever catch him. Why haven't we heard from Roy? What's going on out at that island?
No sign of him. No footprints, nothing.
Okay. Well, I guess all we can do is hope that the Coast Guard picks him up. If he is headed north.
He is, as fast as my speedboat will go.
Thank you for coming over in such a hurry, though. I wish you'd found something.
Yeah, so do we. Look, one more time for the record. Are you sure you can't think of anyone else who is bearing a grudge against you?
Only if you count Tonio Reyes.
Mr. McKechnie, were you armed when you went after Miss O'Hara's attacker?
No, why?
We found this down by the dock. It was thrown in the bushes. Obviously, somebody wanted to get rid of it in a big hurry.
Probably your mysterious assailant. Sullivan, look, I want you to get this down to forensics fast. I want it dusted. It is the same type of gun that was used in the murder. It is an exact duplicate of what Barbara Ryan was holding in her hand. Get going.
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by the Dentist's Choice for Fighting Cavities, Crest with Floristat, and by doctor-recommended natural fiber Metamucil, and you could be regular for the rest of your life. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
that's an exact duplicate of Barbara's gun, all right.
Maybe Emily was telling the truth. Maybe she did leave her gun in the house. Maybe Nick took it with him.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions until we check the registration and get a print work up. Sullivan!
Oh, Nick's prints will be in the computer.
Yeah, so will Emily since she's on probation.
In the sound of the lab.
You got it.
Any word from upriver?
Well, they sent out a couple of helicopters and the Coast Guard's on the lookout, but nothing so far.
You'd do better looking for a needle in a haystack. There are thousands of coves and overgrown areas upriver where a small speedboat could hide.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Well, Costello can't hide out forever. We got roadblocks set up in case he leaves the river to go by land. Also, bus stations, airports have been notified. There's nothing to do but wait.
You might as well go home and get some sleep, McKegney.
Aye, sleep with a killer on the loose. And you still have my gun.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hang on to that for the coroner's inquest into Pearson's death. We can promise you some police protection.
Roy, detail a couple of men out to the island tonight.
Well, Lassie, since we've spent the better part of the last 12 hours in this place, let's go home and get some sleep and let the police do their duty.
Bye, Mom. Bye-bye.
Night.
Oh, I can't believe Mama's gonna have a walk-in in her sleep matron of honor at the rehearsal tomorrow. Ah, today.
Oh, listen, look, come on, get out of here. Go get some sleep.
No.
I'll wait for the report.
No, I'm staying.
Come on.
No, I'm staying.
Well, I'm out of here. Call me if that report comes in. Come on, Mac, I'll give you a lift.
No, I think I'll stretch out on the couch in my office. There's no point in going home. Wake me when that report comes in.
Yeah.
You know, this is not the first time he spent the night at the office.
Yeah, maybe not, but it's rough going back to an empty house with a lot of happy memories. Well, night all. What's left of it? Listen, Hal, if that turns out to be the gun that Emily Stewart did take up to the Ruxton Hills house, you might have to rethink some of your gut instincts.
You know, gun or no gun, my money's still on Reyes. He threatened to kill James Stenbeck. Lucinda told him where James Stenbeck was. It doesn't make sense that he didn't go to the Ruxton Hills house.
Yeah, well, that is if Lucinda Dixon's telling the truth. She's got plenty of reason to pin this on Reyes. Besides, we had half a dozen people up and down in and out of that house that night. How come nobody saw him or his car?
I swear, Lily, if I'd have known what he was doing to you, I'd have come after you. And if I ever have the chance, I'll kill Stenbeck for what he put you through.
What are you thinking about?
What Roy Franklin said about holding me up at Ruxton Hills that night.
Lily, along with a lot of other people, though.
I know. I'm tired.
Yeah, well, you should be tired. It's after 3 in the morning. What's your situation tomorrow? You gonna be able to sleep or what? You have things to do besides go see Rod?
I'll have a few errands to run.
Really? Would you be up for going shopping for a wedding present for Casey and Lila? We have to do that.
Oh, I almost forgot about the wedding. How could I forget about the wedding? Oh, I guess everybody's going to be there. I guess John and Lucinda
And Pam and everybody. We have to remember why we're going there. We're going to share the happiness of two people who love each other very much and who got separated there for a while, but finally wound up together. You know?
Like us, right?
Like us.
Well, I tell you something, you can't just sit there and hold all this junk in. You better spill it.
Is that the pot calling the kettle black, or what?
That's what it is. It runs in the family. You talked to Dustin since this happened?
Nope. I did call the carriage house a couple of times, but I hung up every time he answered the phone. It's just as well, anything I have to say to him, I'd much rather say in person.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, it's just that you can't plan on the way things are going to go between people, and even though sometimes somebody gets hurt, it happens.
You're such an adult.
You should see the little kid inside of me who's throwing a temper tantrum. I never did like losing. I don't know. I'm too competitive for my own good, I guess.
Well, maybe you haven't lost yet.
No, I may be competitive, but I'm smart enough to know when the odds are stacked against me. It's like I told Dusty once, either you can stay miserable or you can get on with the rest of your life.
You sorry that you came here?
No. No. A lot of good things have happened to me while I've been here, and I plan on making the best of them.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, enough soul-searching for one night, don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to go to bed.
Well, good night.
Hi. Hey.
Hello, darling.
Any midnight tea for me?
Good night.
Good night, darling. Yeah. Did you see that invitation from Lila Montgomery?
Yes, I did. The wedding's tomorrow. It's in the chapel.
Shall I meet you at the hospital?
Well, I think it'd be a good idea. It kind of looked dumb if the chief of staff were to show up without his wife, you know?
Did you... When you took Andy home...
Yeah.
My darling? Was Margot there?
Yes, she was. She and Hal looked like they were on duty. They were questioning everybody.
Well, didn't you ask her how the investigation is going?
Dear, she's not going to discuss the case with a suspect.
What?
That's right. I was out at the Ruxton Hills twice that night that Stenbeck was killed.
And you accuse me of keeping secrets?
Now, wait a minute. Don't pull that on me. You're going to call me on that, you're going to lose hands down on keeping secrets.
John Dixon. How did you know? How did you know that he was up at the Ruxton Hills house?
I overheard you telling Ambrose. I thought maybe you might go out there and kill him yourself.
Oh, you came to stop me. Oh. John? Did you?
I went out there to kill him myself. But I didn't do it.
I know.
I guess I'd left by the time you got there.
I saw a man in a raincoat, wasn't you?
Because you said he'd already been shot by the time you got there.
Oh, you don't believe me? You know what I did? I kept my gun in my handbag. And when down at the police station, I produced it.
Yeah?
And they took it in plastic and everything. My gun hasn't been fired. It hasn't been fired in ages. Anyway, it's the wrong caliber because he was shot with a .38.
No.
Yes.
Barbara was found holding a .38 when they found her.
Oh.
Well, she seen Dr. Michaels, you know.
God, she needs a good criminal lawyer more than a shrink.
Michaels is also a hypnotherapist. They're having a session tomorrow. Maybe she'll remember what happened last night.
Just imagine what poor Margaret must have gone through waiting for her dear Angus to return from his pirating adventures. Wondering whether he'd come back alive, or dead, or not at all.
All right, that does it. She's going back up to the attic where she won't give you any more morbid thoughts.
No.
Shauna, you spend half your time staring at this portrait.
I told you, it's because I feel like we're kindred spirits or something. And it's funny, I keep noticing new things. Like just now, I saw the artist's signature down here in the corner. Jeremy Bates. Do you know anything about him? Duncan?
If you insist on keeping that bloody thing in our bedroom, fine, very well. But don't ask me to share your obsession.
What's wrong with you? What have I done?
All right, you want to know about Jeremy Bates? Fine, I'll tell you. Maybe then you'll understand. Jeremy Bates was my great-great-great-grandfather's closest and most trusted friend. Jeremy fancied himself an artist. Angus asked him to come live in the castle and eat at their table and paint his beloved wife's portrait. While Jeremy was painting that, he managed to learn Angus' secrets. And he turned on him. Just as Hensley and Charles turned on me.
So you mean to say Jeremy Bates was...
Jeremy Bates is the one that betrayed Angus to the crown. Jeremy Bates destroyed his pirate empire. And it was Jeremy Bates who was ultimately responsible for your Margaret's death.
See you later, Kathy. Did you talk to Tom last night? He didn't come up to my room.
I figured he'd be asleep, and it wasn't that important anyway.
Did he hear what we were saying?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you did. Great, I knew it. I knew it! I'm gonna get in trouble for covering for you. Don't sweat it, Andy. Everybody knows I was at Stewart's cabin with my dad this summer. It's no big deal.
Not everybody knows that you took the bullets out of your mom's gun.
And you're not gonna say anything about that. Well, you keep doing this to me. It's the last time, I swear. Besides, it's not for me, it's for my mom. If your parents were in trouble, I'd be glad to help you out.
My parents are not in the middle of a murder investigation.
Not yet, anyway.
What's that crack supposed to mean?
Andy, I don't want to mess you up, but there is something you should know. Your dad was at Ruxton Hills that night. He's already talked to the police about it. But you don't have to worry, because... Well, why not? You just don't. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't ever want to talk about this again. I'm gonna go to school. You coming?
No, not today. My mom's getting hypnotized to help her remember stuff. I want to be there. Is Emily up yet?
No, I haven't seen her. Her bed wasn't slept in.
I hope she's all right.
Why are you so worried about Emily?
Andy, my dad loved Emily. Now he's not around anymore, so I think it's my job to protect her. She's been through enough as it is. I don't want to see her get hurt.
I want to spend the whole night right here with you.
No. No, I don't want you to, be sorry about anything tomorrow.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, I always imagined what it would be like to be with you.
Oh, yeah? I thought you were already taken.
Well, you certainly were.
Not anymore.
Holden, I never had the chance to thank you. But what you did for me... When the police questioned me, they never would have believed my story about James if you didn't back me up.
You really want to talk about James?
No, I don't.
Me neither.
I know you've heard this 1,000 times.
The commissioner's on my back.
Well, it's a fact. The commissioner's getting antsy, and this case is making headlines every morning. He wants results.
I'd settle for a report on that print.
Forensics is backed up.
Yeah, well, he thinks there's enough evidence to make an arrest.
What? What? Does he think this is a parking violation? We're talking about second-degree murder here, and there are a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, well, he wants the answers.
Oh, so do we. Pete's sake.
I mean, look what we got dumped in our laps last night. We got a new gun here. We got a fugitive witness heading for Canada, not to mention Corinne and Monica Lawrence's belated confessions.
At the risk of confusing everything, I have a new theory.
Well, let's hear it.
No more theories.
Wait a minute. Tonio Reyes shoots James Stenbeck, and then he hides in the shadows while Lucinda Walsh comes in. And then the explosion happens. And after the explosion, he finds Barbara unconscious, and he puts the gun in her hand.
Well, there's no love lost between Tonio and Barbara.
Bingo.
I think there are some holes in that theory. First off, the fire started too fast. Tonio would have had no time in the house after the explosion. How the hell did he get Barbara's gun?
Well, if we're talking theories, I think that Emily Stewart was holding the murder weapon and not the duplicate that she took from Fashions.
I say let's stop talking theories and get some cold, hard facts here.
Oh, I'll just run down to the fact store.
All right. Hey, we got the preliminary report on the gun. They picked up several prints. 2 of them are ID. One is definitely Nick's.
The other?
Emily Stewart.
You know something, Holden? This is really a great place to have grown up.
Maybe. But I've seen what it's done to Seth and Mama. When I learned that there was something else out there, I wanted to get out.
And you did. And now you have a wonderful job with Tonio Reyes.
Yeah, but I could lose it in a minute.
Now, why do you say that?
I don't know. It's just the way my life seems to work. It's like I go up one step and then I slide back 2. I just can't seem to control the way things are going in my life.
Is control that important to you?
When somebody else is in control,
They can keep you from getting the things that you want.
Holden, what do you want?
Right now, I would settle for being able to buy a full partnership of Tonio's company. This way, I'd be my own boss.
Well, how much would something like that cost?
From what I've seen from the books, $250,000 easy. And since I wasn't handed a trust fund, like Dusty and Lily, I'll be dead by the time I see that kind of money. You know, rich people, they take it for granted. It makes me sick sometimes, you know that?
Holden, I have a trust fund too, you know.
How could you possibly be awake at this hour of the morning after 3 hours of sleep? What are you
You know, I think Grace was right. I think I do have a morning personality. And I think that is because Grace's breakfast started at 6 a.m. in the morning. I hope you're hungry.
I'm very, very hungry.
Good.
Wait. Hold it a second.
What?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, no more bad dreams?
No more bad dreams. Here you go. Adam and Eve on a raft with a side order of hash browns and a mug of mud. There you go.
You learned how to cook something.
Yes, I did. I guess you could say it was a educational summer. Listen, by the way, I wanted to say, when I woke up this morning, I realized that I'd taken open your place, so I would really like to reorganize that.
Wait, hold it. Stop it a second. This isn't my place. This is our place.
Did you see that closet? I have taken over the whole closet. You have
Lily,
about 3 inches of room
Stop
for
it.
your...
Stop speaking for a second. I'm serious now.
You're serious at such an early hour?
Yeah, Lily, come here. We are living here together. This is our place. We're doing this because we want to be doing this, right? So, why don't we get married?
Tonio, hurry up. I'm going to be late for class. Hello? Who? What are you doing calling here? We can't do that. No, but... Hello? Hello?
Who was that, Meg? Meg, what's the matter?
That was Nick Costello.
What?
He said that he might call again, and if he does, that we have to help him get out of town.
We'll do no such thing.
We may have to. He said that if we don't, that he's going to make sure the police find out that you were at Ruxton Hills that night. And that he saw you shoot James Stenbeck.
Stay tuned for Guiding Light, next on most of these CBS stations. Fashions by Aquascutum of London, 5th Avenue, New York. Join us tomorrow for the Emmy Award winner, As the World Turns.